Right now, you can get the Armor All Ultimate Car Care Detailing 8-piece kit for only $25. That's soap, a wash mitt, wheel cleaner, tire shine, glass wipes, and interior wipes, all together in a bucket. Give your car the shine it deserves at the right price. Only at AutoZone.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The Dell Technologies Summer Sale event starts now with limited quantity deals on select performance PCs with Windows 11 Pro. Save on select Vostro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Save on essential accessories plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. Offered to business customers by WebBank, who determines qualifications for and terms of credit.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The Afternoon Underdogs.
But yeah, Braves beating the Phillies last night 8-5. Austin Riley kind of breaking out of that slump along with Marcell Ozuna right now, that's kind of more impressive. And no one's giving Michael Harris, which dealing with injuries, but no one's giving Michael Harris half the flack of what Marcell Ozuna was dealing with, and he's brought that average all the way
4
up.
to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Monday's weather. The rest of the day there will be a gentle breeze out of the south, some sun at 81. Mostly clear skies tonight, about the same at 71. Tomorrow, mostly sunny most of the day aside from a likelihood of thunderstorms in the afternoon and a high of 82. About the same at 81 Wednesday, and we'll have mostly sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, this is Tim.
Do y'all sell bait?
Yes, we seasonally stock live shrimp, live bull minnows, live sand fleas, live fiddler crabs, earthworms, night crawlers, crickets. We also stock frozen shrimp, sand fleas, mullets, squid, pre-rigged ballyhoo, bonita, stingray, cigar minnows, Boston mackerel, Spanish mackerel, and a few other miscellaneous baits. It's worth the drive to buy premium, locally sourced bait from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
The road is yours this summer in a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Stop by and check out the Bill Bird Kia SUV family that is built for all in adventures and endless possibilities. Whether you're traveling on the highways or off-road, you'll do it with grace and grit. Now offering 3.25% APR up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort and safety and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us today at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind that you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance for the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento with $22.22 per month per 1,000 finance at 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 7/5/23.
There is a cat overpopulation issue in the Panama City area, and these cats suffer so many hardships and illnesses, it's heartbreaking. Most are easily treated if caught in time.
Upper respiratory issues have been the biggest ones this year. This causes eye infections that may result in ruptured eyes and even blindness. We also see broken legs, resulting in disability and even amputation. A vision-impaired cat with limited mobility has a grim existence on the street.
Every day, Hillary and her team at Kibbles and Cover's Animal Welfare Group are on the front lines of the cat overpopulation issue. Your team has been an incredible asset to the community and a voice for the voiceless.
It is a constant battle. The message we need to get out there is to spay and neuter. Whether it be your pet or community stray, TNVR helps tremendously in many, many ways. Overpopulation being number one.
Follow Hillary Slayton on Facebook and be a part of the solution to the feline overpopulation issue in Northwest Florida.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
W271DM Mariana, WVLQ Port St. Joe.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome to the house. It's time for the Afternoon Underdogs.
It's happening.
Wow.
It's on right now.
Opinionated and unfiltered. The hot takes, the rants, and the sports talk you crave.
Give it to me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Well, welcome into the Afternoon Underdog Show. A little different twist on the show today. I'm Randy, by the way, and I'm glad you're here. We got a lot to talk about today. We'll talk about college baseball, men's and women's. Also, we'll talk a little Braves baseball. Todd Mueller will join us at 5:20. He is with PCB Hobby, and we'll talk about just a hodgepodge of things that Todd wants to talk about. And, of course, a big twist on the show this afternoon. Coach Glenn Manley's joining us here on the Afternoon Underdog program, and Coach, we're glad you're here, and welcome back into the studio. It's kind of strange being here in the afternoon.
It is. I was right in the middle of my nap, had to wake up and get out here. So, sometimes I've been an underdog, but I've always been under tall, so I kind of fit in with the.
So it works out well.
Yeah, it works out well.
Well, that's good. So what's going on in your world? I mean, I know you're kind of trying to wind things down a little bit, and got some things going on at Bay High School.
Yep.
You've done a superb job as the kind of the stand-in AD, interim AD, however you want to say it, and got a lot accomplished over the last year's time.
We've really come along in athletics and academics. The ACE program is second to none. I have to give a shout out to the Marlene Bland and of course Ms. Carpenter and all the people that work there. But Coach Brown came in and he's turned it around to believe in Bay and bring the red back. And we've had some outstanding coaches, and we went out and we got a basketball coach, and hopefully he'll be on the show Wednesday morning.
Oh, good.
Coach Mike Duffy. He came from Georgia. Has a lot of years in. He has a lot of wins under his belt. So Coach Cook did a great job and everything. So, but this guy, I think, is going to come in and go a little bit further. I believe that's what we're going to do. And then also Jamie Burkowski's coming in, and he and I are kind of in transition. I'm going over things that we have going and the things that we've done, and he's going to put his touch on it. And so right now, officially, I'm not officially finished till the end of June, but he can't start till July 31st. So we're kind of in transition, doing things, and then I want to be hanging around, hopefully on the golf course, if they call me, out there at the beautiful Bay Point. So those things are going on, and people think that, summer, everybody's off. I'm going to tell you what, that gym is used every hour on the hour. Except on Sundays. And so, it starts out in the morning, 6 a.m. The girls' weightlifting team's in there.
That's good, though.
It is. Because they, nobody else wants to be there at 6. And so they go from 6 to 8, and then the football team's in there lifting weights from 8 to 10. Then they go outside. The basketball team comes in at 10, and they lift weights till 12, and 11, and they go to 1 o'clock on the court. And then at 2 o'clock, the baseball team comes into the weight room, and then they do some running and stuff in the gym. And at 4 o'clock, girls basketball comes in and does their thing.
So that's a full day.
So it is a full day. Yeah.
That's what you want.
That's what you want. And the thing is, it helps our athletes, to get acclimated. It really helps the 8th graders coming into 9th grade because when you're in the 8th grade, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, you don't really have you have some of a summer program, but you don't really have, weightlifting and running and conditioning and getting to know the coaches, and things are a little different in high school. You have to be dedicated to your sport.
Yeah.
And then and what we do a great job of kids playing more than one sport too, so our coaches do a great job.
That's good.
Yeah, and if you're recruited, especially in baseball, they want to know what other sport you play because they want a well-rounded athlete.
Yeah,
so different situations. So but it's been great. It's kind of a bittersweet thing. We got things rolling, and I kind of wanted to stick around, but there's a couple of days when things start going. I'm like, man, okay, it's time.
But it's been very challenging.
It has.
And I don't know. I mean, you're like me. You're competitive, so you want to win, no matter what you're doing or where you are. You want to win, and I think that's shown. I mean, you're leaving Bay High School much better than when you found you're leaving it better than you found it.
We had
don't you think?
I think so, but you know what? I just came in, and some people were going, "Man, you came in, the football team's winning." I said, "I haven't called a play yet."
Right, exactly.
All I'm doing is selling tickets and making sure everything's done. I hadn't done anything, but same with basketball and all that. Yeah. But you know what? I go to everything. That's what I think you need to do so the kids can see you and tell them. I never was a Facebook guy till I started doing the AD. Well, actually on the show to put pictures of kids on there and also put things out. So I think. It's great to be a Tornado, and nothing against all the other schools. I just, I was at Bay High for 38 years.
That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, I like. I'd like to stick around to see what it is, but it's what's happening. But I'll be around. I just won't be in charge.
You just won't be a day-to-day thing.
Yeah. Now, I can go to the football game and actually watch it. So
not have to worry about anything.
That's right. Nobody's calling me, hey, somebody's on the wrong gate, stuff like that. Or, the chain gang didn't show up, or
right.
The ice machine's not working, the concession stand. I mean, all those little things people don't understand happen, and it's just constantly putting out fires and constantly checking on stuff, and budgets, and what's in everybody's internal account, and travel expenses, and hotels expenses and all that. So it's
there's a lot more to it than people really realize, don't you think?
It is, but once
it's a social thing too, and you do a great job with that. I mean, a lot of people in the community. Of course, they either came through Bay High School or the kids did one, so you get to know people that way.
I either saw them being a basketball official, coaching basketball, or being a softball official. But the thing too is. It's one of the oldest high schools in the state of Florida. Next year's our 100th year of continuous graduation. So, it's one of those.
So Bay High School's been here 100 years.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: so when you were going to high school, did they have high schools back then?
Well, it was only 13 colonies, so one-room schoolhouse, one through So anyway.
But it makes you think if Bay High School was here 100 years, then what did people? Well, I guess there really wasn't a Bay County, or there wasn't really a Panama City.
Well, on our when you sing the school album song, it's on our city's northern border, where there was like a two, or I don't know if it's 2-lane, 1-lane wagon road right there in front of the school. And so that was the northern end of Panama City.
It was woods and all that before. No Lynn Haven or none of that.
Nope. And so then there were probably Lynn Haven, some little settlements. Panama City was really confined to, right down there. So if you went to where Bay High is now, you were out of the city limits of Panama City, probably.
So it was basically.
It was Bay County High School, and
15th Street was almost like the border, I guess. Of, where you went
across the level,
up 231.
I don't know how to travel there, but but if you go along, it's such a great place to be, and everything, but I won't get into the salary cap and all that, but that's another thing. When you start to hire people, I won't get into that yet. So,
well, there you go.
But I just tell you, it's fantastic, and I just love it there. And so, People say when they bleed well, I bleed red, so that's one of our colors. So
well, that is one thing we have in common.
Yep.
Yeah, cardinal red.
There you go.
Oh, matter of fact, nobody knows this, kind of a behind-the-scenes type thing, but we had a special guest in the office today that did a national radio show, Harry Douglas.
Oh, okay.
Harry played for the Falcons, I think a couple of years for the Titans, but he was a Louisville Cardinal in college, so he came in and was quiet as a church mouse, was in there in the office and just did his thing. So he'll be back tomorrow.
Oh,
so,
good.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. We'll talk about college baseball. Matter of fact, if you've got the info there, we got some scores for you. Update on those scores.
As you well know, it actually started at 2 p.m. LSU's playing Oregon State, and
they're leading right now too. By the way, it's bottom of the 8th inning, 12-4.
LSU has to win twice, so we see there. And then in the Raleigh, in the Virginia region, Charlotte region, and Virginia won that one right. Yeah. In the Clemson, Tennessee wins. They're on the way to Super Regionals. South Carolina Regional, South Carolina wins. The Coastal, they play at 5 o'clock our time. They play Duke and have to win twice. So I know that, Ryan's going to have the radio on at the football practice today. So.
Absolutely, he will, yeah.
And then in the Miami region, of course, Texas won. So they're in there. And now Arkansas plays TCU today. They started at 3, and Arkansas has to win twice. So
here's an update for you on that TCU Arkansas. They have it down now for an 8 o'clock start.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So did Arkansas win the first game then, Ryegrass?
Arkansas is down by a point.
Okay.
They're in the bottom of the 6th. TCU's up 5-4.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then they play again at 8 o'clock.
If Arkansas wins, they play again. Yeah.
That's right.
All right. And then the Kentucky region, Kentucky's playing Indiana, and the winner goes. That they both lost one, so
yeah,
that's those there. In the Vandy region, Oregon wins. So Vanderbilt got beat by Xavier, and so I have to go back and look how many numbers rated 1 through 16 or 1 through whatever, how many of those guys are not going to be there?
Right.
So it's now Stanford plays Texas A&M, and then the winner of that one, I guess, goes. And so it's a regional. And, of course, this is Oklahoma State. You wouldn't believe this, but Oral Roberts comes out and wins that. They won that outright. So you got some new faces in there. They're talking about Dallas Bible College. They have a strong team, too. We talked about this last week. In baseball, that's why baseball is better than all of the other, and probably softball, too, is better than basketball and all that, because you just never know how this is going to come out. Mm-hmm. And it works a long time. But some of these other schools, they have great players. They just weren't picked up by Division I schools. And so, it kind of equals out. And so, it was like when, Coastal Carolina won that one time. They just came right through the losers bracket and then came all the way back and had a great season.
Yeah.
In the Indiana State wins that region. Alabama wins the Tuscaloosa region.
That's right.
And then Wake Forest. I don't know if I want to play Wake Forest, not Alabama, but Wake Forest wins theirs, and that's right off the bat. Alabama goes to Wake Forest next weekend, or this coming weekend.
Now Southern Miss is leading Penn State 8-7, and Southern Miss is another surprise this year.
Right. Yeah, it's just Penn. I don't think it's Penn State.
Oh, you're right. It is Penn.
Yeah. So, but see, there's another. Who would have thought Penn would have been in there? I thought Southern Miss would be in more like they are now than Penn. So, anyway. And
didn't Southern Miss play? They beat Auburn.
They did.
At Auburn.
At Auburn. That's what the Auburn one was. Yeah. So, we'll see what goes on with that. They play twice. Southern Miss has to win twice.
Yeah.
And so that the first game started at 3.
Right.
And so, so I had that so far up on my rankings that I forgot it was up there. So.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So anyway, but then Oral Roberts plays Oregon in the Super Regional. Now Indiana State will play the TCU, and the winner of TCU, and I forgot who they're playing. I'll have to look at it.
TCU right now is playing Arkansas.
Yeah, okay, that's right.
And they're up by a point.
Okay.
In the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, so the winner of that one will play Indiana State.
Gotcha.
And then Tennessee versus Penn winner. And then South Carolina will play Florida. And then the Coastal Carolina winner will play Virginia. I'm not looking forward to that either.
No.
Virginia's wiped them out. I didn't, they were pretty good in the ACC, but I didn't know they're kind of like Wake Forest. So
yeah.
Anyway, and then of course, if you watched Oklahoma play softball today, they were losing 2-0, and then it's 2-2, and then you get into the top of the 7th, and then you get 2 outs and 2 strikes, and the girl hits a gap, and she's on second. And the next thing you know, there's a bunt, and the girl charges too far, and it goes over her head. And now you got runners on first and third, and then you get a double in the gap, and now it's 4-2, and game over.
Yeah, that's right.
So Oklahoma will play the winner of Florida State, and also
the winner of the Florida State Tennessee game. Yeah,
that will go into the championship series. So Tennessee has to beat FSU twice in order to get in the championship series.
Right.
So FSU just needs to win one of those games.
Who's the better team, FSU or Tennessee?
Now you know what I'm going to say.
I know, but
I just think FSU right now. Now I don't know if anybody can beat Oklahoma in 2021. FSU beat them the first game, made them mad. So
So you're saying don't make them mad?
Yeah, just, kind of maybe 1-0 game. Don't get out there and hit 6 or 7 runs, because then they'll get fired up.
And score 7 or 8.
I'm really – Florida State's got a good chance this year, because they only played once. They played in a little series, and Oklahoma won, but it wasn't a fantastic score. But, Stanford came in there and did a great thing too. So I don't know. I just right now, the way Oklahoma plays, they have such confidence. But it's like a home game. I mean, how far is it from Norman to Oklahoma City?
That's a good question.
Not very far.
Not very far, but I don't have the exact knowledge.
No, but I'm just saying, in Oklahoma State plays there too. So they were in there. So that's, to me, that's almost like the Gator Bowl. If you don't think that's not a Florida home game, you've lost your mind.
Well, yeah, and here's the question. Speaking of, the Florida Georgia game that's in Jacksonville. If that's not leaning towards Florida, I don't know what is. But I think they just come to an agreement to where they're going to do a home and home as opposed to that game. But that's a big deal, though. A lot of people
for Jacksonville, it's a big deal. I mean, it is divided 50-50, but you're sleeping in your bed and then you drive an hour.
Right.
Versus coming down from Athens.
Right.
So,
So it's really kind of almost a home game for Florida.
It is a home game. Even Steve Spurrier said it.
Yeah.
But
But Georgia's always agreed to it.
That's true. And, Kirby now that wants to change it. But I don't know if Jacksonville, they would just chalk out more money for.
Right.
So you don't know, but they're trying to do that. I mean, who thought the Alabama-Auburn game would be home and home?
Right.
So you never know. So.
But do you think they should just leave it like it is? Tradition means a lot, don't you think?
Tradition means a lot, but I know a lot of Georgia players that would rather have it home and home, because just the money would go to Athens or it'd go to Tuscaloosa. I mean, they can divide up all they want, but that doesn't put them in the hotels and feed them and all.
Right.
So
money plays probably a big part in it.
And eventually we'll go to 9 SEC games because of the money. But right now, within 3 years it'll be 9 games, I think. And
Now, speaking of which, since we're on the subject, a couple minutes here before we head to break, Saban came out over the last couple of days and said that they should schedule less cupcake out of conference and more in conference games. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, there's two takes on that. You want to have a couple of wins in there, especially when you're playing in the SEC, and then the people you're coming to play, that pays a lot of money to the athletic program.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're making a lot of money with people coming to the restaurants, coming to the game. All the stuff goes with the parking and all the concessions. So, Tennessee Middle Tennessee plays Alabama right off the bat. Now, they're going to make some money coming down there.
Right.
Hopefully, they won't go back with not enough players to go the next week, but it's going to be it's one of those things. But again, if you start doing this, all right, so let's get more. If we play 9 games, let's get more SEC games. Well, what that's going to do is half the SEC is going to have an extra loss. Because if you play that 9 games, somebody's going to lose those games.
Right.
And so what happens when you go to the championship series and they go to 12 games, 12 teams. All right, so are you going to take a 2 or 3 loss SEC team over a 1 loss, say middle major, where do we go from there? So
I know. It's going to be interesting to see. But, instead of playing these out-of-state schools, I think you should play more of your, in-state schools. Like, as an example, instead of Alabama playing Middle Tennessee, and nothing against Middle Tennessee, of course.
Trust me.
But, instead of playing Middle Tennessee, why not play somebody like Troy? A team that's in the state of Alabama, as opposed to pulling them in. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. The thing, though, is, do they want to? If you get beat by Troy, you know what I'm saying?
What if you get beat by Middle Tennessee?
Well, yeah, but you're not. It's not in your same state. You know what I'm saying? You're drawing from the people in Alabama too.
Yeah,
and you're drawing against Auburn too, but. They came up with a pretty good idea. Hugh Freeze came up with, why not play the spring game against somebody?
That's true.
Auburn plays Troy and FSU plays somebody. I mean, FSU could play somebody, instead of going through, you get somebody hurt playing offense all the time versus defense all the time.
Right.
Instead of going out there and playing half the game on offense and defense like you do in a regular game.
Right.
So then,
as an example, FSU or Florida could play like a Florida Atlantic or somebody that, as opposed to playing
and the spring game.
Right.
And you could set up the parameters however you want, but it's somebody else that you're hitting besides your own people. And so what they usually do is it's the number 1 offense against the number 1 defense. This is number 2s against so you're constantly running into your players, where if you go and play a regular game, your offense goes out.
Yeah.
Then your offense comes off, your defense goes out.
Right.
But they're not hitting the same people. They're hitting another team, and so it gives you a little more. It gives you a little more, I guess, competition.
Yeah.
To see how you are, see how you go against somebody.
That's right out of the gate too. And you've only had a little bit of practice leading up to it, so it gives you a chance to really test the waters.
If you're in practice all the time and you're on the number 1 offense and you're playing the number 2 defense. And every once in a while they go 1 against 1s. Well, how much competition is that? I know when Jared Moon and them were over there at Florida State, he always practiced against the number 1 defense. So he said his practice was harder than the game because I'm trying to block an All-American, in that era. And so that's the toughest part.
Yeah, it is.
But had you scrimmaged somebody else, I think he would hit them even harder, but you never know.
All right, we'll take this time out. I'm Randy, as Coach Glenn Manley. We're in today for David and the rest of the Afternoon Underdogs. We'll take a quick phone call or a quick timeout, and we'll take your calls on the other side of this break. This is ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the sports talk monster on the Gulf Coast.
Let's go!
Destin, Panama City, and Mexico Beach. Listen on 104.3. In the Mariana, Chipley, and Bonifay area, hear us on 102.1.
Swing, line drive, left center field, that ball is down!
And now, Fort St. Joe, Apalachicola, and Weewa. It's 101.9. We have Northwest Florida covered. It's ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Monday's weather. The rest of the day there will be a gentle breeze out of the south, some sun at 81. Mostly clear skies tonight, about the same at 71. Tomorrow, mostly sunny most of the day aside from a likelihood of thunderstorms in the afternoon and a high of 82. About the same at 81 Wednesday, and we'll have mostly sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
If you spend any time at all in your yard, you're going to encounter fire ants.
We know they can ruin a party. That's why we're this area's experts at fire ant elimination.
As your certified top choice professional, we will rid your yard of these unwanted invaders. Brock Pest is so sure they will get rid of fire ants that they offer a 1-year guarantee.
Enjoy your yard fire ant free. We guarantee it. Give us a call for your free consultation.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control, our family protecting yours since 1968.
You're riding shotgun with the Afternoon Underdogs. We're going to need some gas money. The Afternoon Underdogs.
Fill her up, please.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to ESPN Northwest Florida and the Afternoon Underdog Show. Randy and Coach Manley in here today holding down the fort. David, a little bit under the weather today, but he should be back tomorrow. So always appreciate him and everything that he does. Hey, listen, call us, 850-215-6290, 850-215-6290. We are live on the radio at 104.3 Panama City and also 101.9 in Port St. Joe. Also available on the ESPN Northwest Florida app. You can download that at Google Play or the Apple Store. And you can also listen to us online at ESPNPC.com as well. And we're streaming this afternoon live on Facebook and on YouTube, Twitch. We're everywhere. We're everywhere. So anyway, we were talking before the break, talking about some of the changes and stuff in college football and some of the things that Nick Saban said the last couple of days, and there were some interesting comments on a couple of the different college football blogs, and they were talking about, why is Saban saying anything about Georgia now when really Kirby's taken, the Saban playbook of scheduling games, and people say Georgia's schedule this year is the weakest they've even Georgia fans are like, why are we playing, these cupcake teams? And it's an easy schedule. I could see Georgia just going completely undefeated this year.
Well, here's the thing. Anytime you win a football game, it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
You could lose your number one quarterback. You could lose, some things. But also, if you don't like Georgia's schedule, just, wait, get up there and play them. If you went out, you can play them. Then
absolutely.
Be careful what you ask for is all I can tell you. But some of these schedules are made way in advance.
Right.
Or sometimes they have to pick them up because, like, we're going to change conferences. So I don't think Alabama can play Ohio State now because when they go to 9 games, they're not going to be able to, and things like that. So who else is left to play? I don't think Washington or Southern Cal, anybody will ride over and just play. I don't think they're really up for that. So,
yeah,
and
now from a fan standpoint, that's the question of if a fan are fans gonna really attend these games? Are they gonna watch these games? Are they gonna listen to these games? Is the interest really there? Especially when you get towards the end of the season. You got in looking at Alabama's schedule. You've got a cupcake team right close to the end. Then they've got that. Then they take a week off, and then they play Auburn, and that's been pretty much the norm over the last several years. So what's the purpose of playing that game other than revenue?
Well, the thing is, you get your other kids can get experience. But the thing is, all right, so Auburn used to complain about having to play Georgia way at the end. So guess what? They got Georgia front where Georgia was. They got LSU. So, be careful what you ask for. But somewhere along the line, there has to be a break in there. I don't know anybody. Every week in, week out, it's just rough. It's not. You're going to be knocked around. Even if you win, you're going to be sore. You're going to be beat up.
Right.
So if you go 6 or 7 games in a row, fans, if you're really a true fan, you'll go to the game. That's all I can tell you. So then, but as a coach, every once in a while, you just got to have one of those. instead of on edge for the 4 quarters.
Right.
So I don't know. To me, if I was a Alabama fan or a Georgia fan, I'd go to the game, especially if I got season tickets.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't give those away.
No, they don't.
So I just think you should go. Okay. If you don't like them playing, give your tickets to somebody else. But here's the thing. Unless you've been out there coaching and knows what it takes to play, no matter who you play, you still got to go through that whole routine of you got to watch them, you got to plan, you got to scheme, and then be ready for whatever they throw up. Now, somebody may not throw the same thing that you've seen all year.
Right.
And the worst thing to get ready for is you're going to play somebody that runs the option. I mean, you got to teach them how to not get they got to get their hands out so they don't get cut. And then, even if they get cut, you got to make sure that, you got to get your knees out of the way and things like that. So, it's all that is, it's assignment football. If you don't do your assignment, you just got to trust everybody else. If you don't do your assignment, that's where it breaks down. So, in option teams now, they're getting used to running some different little wrinkles in there. So you got to be ready for all that. I just, to me, a game is a game, and you have to treat it that way.
Well, yeah.
And you have to respect the opponent because they're going to give you their best game. So,
well, of course.
Yeah. So what if you go up there, what a confidence builder. Even if you lose, you go up there and you play Alabama, they beat you by 14.
Now, do you think Middle Tennessee is going to go into that game going, let's go on down here and get ourselves beat up real bad?
No, I don't think he'll let them do that. I think, they have enough gumption. They'll go down there. Now, after the first quarter, some of the emotions wear off, after you take that first hit in the mouth, all that hype and jumping up, down. Yeah, what I'm saying. But hopefully, they got up. They went down there and beat Miami. Now, Miami's not Alabama, but they're going to throw it around and they're going to change your defense. And Alabama has been known to be right now the last year or two, the secondary has been part of the problem. So I'm sure that they'll look at that and attack that. So, but it's hard to throw when you're on your back. So we got to keep those guys out of there too.
Yeah.
So anyway, but to me, if they're on your schedule, you have to play.
I know.
So, you didn't go up there. Alabama didn't have North Dakota State, which was a great team in their league, So if you want to get tough, go up there and play North Dakota State in the middle of the winter and see how you like that.
Probably won't like that at all.
That's why they play inside.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And there are, other, schools that schedule the same, same kind of games. And I'm not just picking on Alabama or
I know,
Georgia.
But the thing is, people going, okay, you're number one because you don't play anybody. Well, all right, I tell you what, come in there and play that schedule.
Yeah.
Then you'll be going, oh man, we need to play somebody that we may have a chance to run off the thing. All right, what's Colorado's schedule look like?
That's a great question.
Yeah. So anybody know? So nobody looks at that.
But why are we even talking about Colorado? We're only talking about it because Deion's there.
Yeah, but if you want to say, well, he's jumped around no matter where he's gone. So will he have a good team? Who knows? But he's winning the transfer portal both ways.
Right,
getting rid of them and getting them in. So,
but they will not give you a trophy at the end of the year for winning the transfer portal. You are only going to get a trophy if you win your game.
That's true.
But
I'm just saying.
He's creating some serious hype. Just because he's Deion.
Well, another thing too is now if you look at where he's played and where he's coached, he's done a good job coaching now, and he's not a slouch.
Now there's a huge difference between where he was and where he is.
I know, I understand that, but the thing is now, this is they almost sold out all their season tickets and everything, but it
has nothing to do with football though.
No, it does not. It doesn't win the games, but it puts some money in there. So and Colorado will actually put the money in football where it goes instead of where he was at. They moved it around.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons he left.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. If you listen to how he says it, you have to listen. He knows what he's doing.
I know.
And so he goes in there and they raise money and they do some things, and all of a sudden the football team's not as wealthy as they thought they were because some of the money had been moved around, not necessarily stolen, but moved in spots that he didn't know they were going to move to.
Right.
And so now he's like, well, we raised all this money for football.
Yeah.
And they were going to give some, they don't just keep it all, but they were going to give it out, and football, especially in historic black colleges, are the cash cow.
Right.
And so, there's some great basketball track, but they don't bring in a lot of money. They have some people there, but
right.
But you're talking about the ones that bring in the money.
Yeah.
And so, when you start
so you think Colorado will put money, keep the money in the football
money will,
program.
the lion's share will go to football. Now, they'll put it in some other stuff too, but it's going to be controlled a lot by what
I'm just curious to see, how he does.
I think he'll do okay. I think he'll do fine.
Playing in a Power 5 conference.
But here's the thing, because you got all this hype, will they give him, like Norville comes in and gets slashed. Okay, so they say, well, this is his first year,
Mm-hmm.
Well, they do that for Dion if he comes in and gets slashed a couple
Well, of course they will. You got to give somebody a chance, don't you think?
But yeah, absolutely. But I'm just talking about all these people that go, well, he's done this, he's done that. Now he's not winning. Well,
right. It takes time.
It does.
No matter who you are, whether you're Dion or somebody else.
You have to come in and change the culture of people who, I'm on scholarship, I'm glad I'm here. If we win, we win. I mean, you got to have people that, if you work hard in the weight room, the harder you work in the weight room, the less you bleed out there.
Well, that's exactly right. And he's been very vocal about there's no gimme. You got to earn your keep, and you got to earn the position.
Well, a lot of people don't know. Even though you're on full scholarship, your scholarship's renewed every year.
So a lot of people don't know that.
Right. And so what happens is, if you're a 5-star and you come in there and you have a poor attitude and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you're the last one to practice, you don't give 100%, they come in and talk to you and you still refuse kind of to move. Next thing you know, hey, I better be in the transfer portal because I'm going to be paying for it from now.
That's right.
So, but anyway, I think he'll do well. I kind of hope he does well because of all the things, but you can't take away what he's done, and Dion's all about Dion now. But
well, he's a good promoter, is what I like to say.
He takes care of people. Don't get me wrong; he does a lot of things for charity and stuff. But it's when you got Prime, that's on your shirt. But the other thing is he backs it up. So
exactly,
he's the only guy to play professional football and baseball in one day.
Yeah, exactly.
So he knows something about it. But he started the tomahawk chop in Atlanta. He was out there one day in the outfield doing that. And
really?
They started doing that. So
that was just amazing. That he was playing for the Falcons and the Braves at the same time.
Right. So I think the Braves were at home. I can't remember if somebody can call in and tell us, but either the Braves are at home or the Falcons are home. But he played with the Braves, then came to the Falcons that night. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. So I don't think anybody else has done that.
Yeah. Do you remember the time that Dion took a helicopter?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yeah,
right. It was. He had a game with the Falcons, and then after the game, it was like playoffs, and he took a helicopter ride to the stadium.
Yeah.
So who else is going to land in a helicopter in the middle of the field? But Dion.
That's right. But if you're talking about coaches, it'd be Kirby and Saban. So.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, that's crazy.
But so what a tremendous athlete. I liked what Bobby Bowden said about him one time. He said, what about Sanders? He goes, well, I'm not so sure I like the players having a better card than I do.
Yeah, he was. He was a breath of fresh air for Florida State.
Yeah.
He was a lot of fun. He was fun to watch. But when he got to the pros, it was just. It went to the next level quick.
Right.
Yeah.
But you have to when you get there. That's like when you come out of high school. You say you're a 4 or 5 star.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody at your school's been telling you the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
So you get up there and everybody's the best thing since sliced bread. So you better be ready to compete. And some of them don't do it because they've been told how good they are. So now that you have to put the work in to prove it because you're playing over there, you're guarding the guy in the secondary that's just as fast or faster than you are.
Yeah.
And so I know when I was at Middle Tennessee, they had a guy that played for Fisk University, and he ended up playing for the Buffalo Bills in the secondary. And he would come in the summer while they were running routes, and he would run faster backwards than some of our receivers could run forward.
You're kidding.
No, just run and pivot, and he would do that. He would do that every 15, 20 minutes by himself, and then he'd come out there, and coach would let him guard some of the wide receivers on pass routes.
So there's a difference between, some players are just have a natural gift of playing, while others have to kind of work hard to hone their skills. But some guys they're athletes.
They are. And some of it, though, once you do certain things and you go through the drills and everything, and when you take the drills to the field, it's just automatic. You don't have to think about it anymore. Yeah. That's like when officiating basketball. I know where the ball's going to go almost before it goes because you see enough.
Yeah.
And then now there's only certain places it can go.
Right.
And so then you end up moving to the right spot. Very, very seldom do you get fooled.
Yeah.
But, it's the same thing. If you play enough, there's only so many things they can do. There's only so many fakes they can give you. But now the speed and the quickness of it, that's a whole different story. So, and they know exactly where they're going. Unless, you can study film, but the guy can give you a little head bob or give you a stem step and then go the other way. So, it's pretty tough, really.
Yeah.
So,
how many times have you ever heard somebody say, "Man, I sure wish I'd have known back then what I know now"?
Yeah, I remember saying that.
That's right. Probably a few times. Hey, by the way, I want to remind everybody, coming up soon, we're going to announce details on how you and a guest could win a round of golf. And that's coming up before you know it.
Put it on James Hale's ticket.
It's already on his ticket. What are you talking about? All right, we'll take a quick timeout. We're coming back. This is the Afternoon Underdog program, and we're right here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Your attention, please. ESPN Northwest Florida reminds you it's the law. It's the law. When there's a double red flag, stay out of the water, stick your toes in the sand, grab a cold drink, and listen to live sports.
Swung on, miss, strike three.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Double play!
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Monday's weather. The rest of the day there will be a gentle breeze out of the south, some sun at 81. Mostly clear skies tonight, about the same at 71. Tomorrow, mostly sunny most of the day aside from a likelihood of thunderstorms in the afternoon and a high of 82. About the same at 81 Wednesday, and we'll have mostly sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
I have some great gift ideas for you here at Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves. We have a large selection of 14-karat charms starting at just $19.95. Engrave a personal message and add a special coin for your dad's birth year on a money clip or keychain. And a beautiful designer Bulova watch is a perfect gift that will be treasured forever. Always a perfect gift for any occasion. From Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves, where our reputation shines as brightly as our diamonds.
By now, you've heard us talking about Tiger TV Pro. Hi, David Hayes from the Afternoon Underdogs, here to remind you about this incredible streaming service with over 6,000 premium channels. And the cost, you ask? $15 a month. Yes, only $15 a month. Every sports channel is available, including the ACC and SEC Network, the NFL, NBA, MLB, HBO, Showtime, and thousands more. For more info, go to our website at espnpc.com. Scroll down and click the Tiger logo.
We don't sell the steak.
You can stir this all up.
We sell the sizzle. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs.
Very spicy.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back to the Afternoon Underdog program. Randy is in here. That's me. And Coach Glenn Manley is sitting right there next to me. And
that's me.
Yeah, that's you. Hey, don't forget, Ryan Mulvey is in here every day from 11 to 1 with the Inside Drive. So make sure you join him tomorrow for the program. So that'll be a lot of fun. ESPN Northwest Florida, of course, is your home for Atlanta Braves baseball. They are actually off tonight. So you get 4 hours of Paul Feinbaum and a cast of callers. It'll be fun.
Same one, so he pays them to call.
That way, it sounds like it, yeah.
We can't do that.
No, we can't. So the Braves, of course, are sponsored by Bill Bird Kia, reliable hydraulic solutions, store more portable buildings, and a whole bunch more. The Braves will be back on the air tomorrow, starting at 6. First pitch is at 6:20 against the Mets, so that should be a good game. I'm going up to Atlanta. Is it this weekend? Yeah, this weekend I'll be in Atlanta.
I didn't know
for
that.
a Braves game.
You asked me like I was supposed to know.
I totally forgot it. So, anyway, welcome back. You can listen to us on the radio at 104.3 here in Panama City. Also at Port St. Joe at 101.9. We're available on the app, and you can download that app at the Apple Store or Google Play. We're also available. We stream online at Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And you can also check us out on our website at espnpc.com. Talking a little college football this afternoon with Coach Manley, and man, we're what 90-something days away from the kickoff.
Yeah,
it's amazing how things just change. We're just so addicted to college football.
Well, you look at what and
high school football.
Too. Yeah, they're out there working hard this summer.
As a Bay High guy, are you excited about football this year? You had a great season last year.
I am.
Unexpected. Maybe you didn't expect it, but I think Panama City didn't expect you guys to have the type season that you had.
Well,
am I wrong in that, or?
Well, we knew we would be pretty good at, when I got there, I talked with Coach Brown, who he used to be the ball boy for me and his dad. We coached together at Bay High.
Is that right?
Yeah, so I've known Coach Brown since he was about 5 years old. So, and then he was a senior and came over and played on the line. He and Coach Moon got to know each other quite well.
Oh, that's good.
So, but anyway,
have we been able to drag Coach Moon out of retirement?
No, he's pretty good. Once he got through with the golf, he figured out golf was a lot easier than coaching football. So,
that's right.
But I tried to explain that. But anyway, what happened was we had once the hurricane hit, a lot of our kids left, and they were younger, but they didn't have nowhere to live, and so they went to other schools or they went to other towns, and they found some.
Not unusual for anybody after the hurricane,
right? And so then. We were very young for a couple of years with Coach Bland and everything. So now when he gets here, we got 25 seniors, and they all have played as freshmen, sophomores, and juniors.
Oh, wow.
And so now you got a full experienced team, and he started out. We played a powerhouse in which we played Enterprise up there, 7A school. Okay, they got 2,700 kids in 10 through 12.
Wow.
They have a ninth grade team. They have a ninth grade academy that had 1,700 students in it. And so when we went up there, it's like a college. I mean, the field's two different colors of green with the thing. And
they don't have beaches up there or up in Ozark and up in there. So, but high school football is
when we drove up on the bus, it was like a college. I thought it was at Kentucky because they're blue and white. Yeah. And they're Wildcats. And so, man, they were tailgating all around the school and everything.
Wow.
Oh, man, it was fantastic. I mean, and we walked in and they their side is like a double-decker thing, and then our side was pretty high. It was about 40, 50 rows up.
Yeah.
And then one section is all their band, 300 band members over there. So, anyway, but it was they treat us very well because, they beat the snot out of us.
Oh, they did?
So, yeah. But our kids kept fighting. They didn't quit. They didn't point fingers and everything. So I knew we had something kind of special.
That's good.
And so we come back, and then we called it the fish. We had the fish month. We played Mosley, St. Joe, and then Arnold. So we played three fish in a row.
Right.
So that was fish month. And so we beat Arnold, and I thought that was pretty good, but I go, gosh, we got to play Mosley next week,
Yeah.
And so some of the people kept trying to make it against Mosley against Coach Brown.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was about the kids. And so when, that's what Coach Brown all week told the kids, it's not about me, it's about you, it's about you. So,
right.
Man, it was packed. And so.
Was it a good crowd?
It was packed. It's kind of like the old days where, we used to play and when Scroggins was there, and all that. So.
But that's what you want.
Yeah, because
you want people to be excited about the game and come out and support,
It was, and so going to that game, I was a little nervous because, you're playing the guys that won 9 or 10 or 11 games, whatever they won, the most games they've won in the history of the school, I guess.
Yeah.
And so, I'm like, just hang in there. So next thing I know, we're leading Then they get ahead. Then we start leading again. Then we get another touchdown. So 17-10 at half, and we're up. And
That's got to be a good feeling going into the locker room.
Yeah, so I said, look, I got to go upstairs, make sure everything's okay. So I went up there in the press box where I could see. And then, of course, then I have to go count the money. But so when I came back, the next thing I know, it was 24-10. Then it got to be 27-10.
So you didn't know till you got back down. It was 24-10.
Yeah. So after I got through counting the money, it was 24-10. Then we go down there and kick a field goal, and it's 27-10. I'm like, holy!
Now, I don't know if you know it or not, but we actually broadcast that game, and you could have gotten the app on your phone and listened to it while you were doing all your other stuff.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. Count money while I'm listening to something. Hey, we're up. We're $1,000 short.
Yeah. We're up 24-10, 25, 26, 27.
So anyway, so it got to be 27-10, and it got to be about 2 or 3 minutes. And so Coach Brown put in some kids that hadn't played much, so they could say they were in the Mosley Bay High game. So
plus it gives them some experience and confidence.
Mosley's not going to give up, so they drove it down there and they made it 27-17. And then the onside kicked it, and we squirmed out there and got it, so we were able to run the clock out. So, but it was hard fought.
Was that kind of the game that you said, you know what, I think we're going to be all right this year.
Right. And then we had to play Port St. Joe, who was really
they're good.
Oh, I know.
They've always been good.
So we went from the Marlins to the Dolphins to the Sharks.
That's right.
The Tiger Sharks, and I was going, oh no.
How many more fish team are you guys going to play?
So then we just kind of shut them down.
Yeah.
They had a big stud running back, and I think the second series he went in there and there was just a big mess of people, and he come out hobbling. So that was probably a good thing for us. But then we ended up winning pretty good, and so.
Now, where was that game?
It was at home.
Okay. So y'all played at Tommy.
Yeah. So we had 6 home games.
Now, does that mean you have to go to Port St. Joe this year?
Yep.
Okay.
I hadn't looked at the schedule yet, so not having to worry.
But more than likely that'll be the case.
Yeah.
Okay.
You usually have home and home so that you can share the gate.
Yeah.
Now the thing about playing people in town is if you're the home team after expenses, you have to split the gate.
Right.
Yeah. And so that's a good thing. I just know when we played Mosley and Rutherford earlier when I was the AD the first time, even half the gate could be like 15,000. So that's a good little nest egg to put in your thing. But
now, do you think eventually, within the next, say, 10 years, do you think there's a possibility that every Bay High school will have their own place to play, their own field? I don't want to say stadium, but I mean,
you got to have the room. I don't know.
No, Rutherford, I don't know where the room. They're so packed in over there.
There's a couple places over there in Springfield you could have it, but it wouldn't be
on campus.
It wouldn't be. No, I don't think there's room on campus anywhere.
Okay, yeah.
They had a softball field before. It was down another block, but not where the Vera Champlain complex is now.
Right.
But you maybe could go out further out towards 15th Street out there. Maybe put a stadium in. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But we have three class fields to play in now. Mosley and Rutherford, they get extra money in transportation because they have to bus to the stadium. But they also have to go to.
Now, does Arnold has their own place?
Yeah,
right?
Arnold's right there, but you still. You sometimes have to play on Thursday at Gavlac or at Bozeman.
Okay.
Or if Bozeman's out of town or Arnold's out of town, you can play there on Friday. It just depends. But all three of those stadiums are top notch.
So is there only two high schools that don't have a stadium, and that's Mosley and Rutherford?
That's correct.
Everybody else has one.
See, the Tommy Allen Field is not ours. It's the county's.
No, I know.
But it's right there. Yeah.
And that's why people say that's Bay.
But at one time it was.
Yeah, well, exactly.
So, but the thing is, those fields are immaculate. And I'm going to tell you something. When I was coaching at Bozeman, you go to some of the 1A schools, they did the best they could with some of them. Now, some of them are really well groomed and everything, but some of them
are rough.
Yeah, they were rough. And so you have to take the kids to, you have to be, you have to have accountability. You have to appreciate what you have.
Yeah.
And so, but the thing is, I'm just, those crews work, boy, I tell you what, they work night and day, and they're really fantastic. Now, what I liked about the new stadium is not necessarily the home side, which they finally put an elevator in there. So if you got a hospitality room, you don't have to tote it up those.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah,
because I'm sure it would take you some time getting up there.
It does. Yeah, but I was a lot younger then, so it wasn't bad. But the visitor side is immaculate. I mean, you just drive around and you park your bus right by the visitor's locker room.
Oh, well, that's
convenient. It's got 2 slots for 2 buses. All right, so when you come in, if you come in the door, then to the right is the locker room.
Yeah.
All right, so it's a locker room, big locker room.
Yeah.
Then as you come in, the right's the locker room, the left is the coach's dressing room. Then you have a trainer room. Then you have an ice machine. And you have chalkboards and, vis-a-vis boards and all that. Then you walk out the door. You're right there by the field. You never have to go anywhere. And so when you come back in, you get dressed, go out the back door, and there's your bus.
That's nice.
It's fantastic.
Normally when you say the visitors' locker, you guys,
man, let me tell you.
It's usually they put but the chairs are all broken and toilets don't flush.
Well, first of all, I can tell you in the old Pensacola field.
Oh, hey, listen, that's where I went to high school, I know.
The locker room. Okay, so when you go in the locker room, there's a back door thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like 2 old barn doors, and there's a gap about 2 inches wide, and it's got a hook on it. So if you're smart enough, like I was, grew up in East Nashville, you just take your finger and flip that hook up, and you just come right on in.
That's right.
And so when it's cold outside, it's cold in there. If it's hot outside, it's hot in there. And when you go to get on the bus to go, there's like 8 cops that walk you to your bus. And they go, when you get on the bus, you're on your own.
Close the door and drive off.
We were leaving, and the train came by. And I was going, stop, it's an ambush, because the train was going. We had to sit there for about 5 minutes, and we're all looking around, because all it is woods, because you're coming out the back of the station.
Yeah, that's right. I know exactly what you're talking about. Well, it's gotten better, but it's still not the greatest neighborhood.
Fort St. Joe, you used to have to walk all the way from to school all the way to the football field, but they finally put a little dressing room for the visiting team there, which they've done a good job.
Oh, good.
Now, when you go to Wakulla, man, it's about a half a mile to the school. So we never go down there. We come all the way out, and we go over by the baseball field's behind the football field. So
can you drop the kids off and then come back?
Well,
and
you have
park?
to dress.
Oh, that's where you dress in the dressing rooms, right?
Yeah, but it's way down there by the school.
Oh, wow.
But you can't get on the bus and bring them to the stadium because there's cars parked there.
Man.
So you have to walk through the middle of the parking lot. There's all kind of people in the
Well, I know they're aware of it. Do they leave it that way intentionally?
I don't know. I'm sure that's what you know. So anyway, I don't know that. But the worst one I've ever been to, and I hope I hope it's changed, but we went to Ozark, went to Carroll High School.
Yeah.
So we go in the dressing room. It's like a Mike Leach story. We go in the dressing room.
And it's country up there, too.
It is. It's like one light bulb, which is about 25 watts. And there's no lockers. There's no lockers. So you just put your stuff on the floor, and there's one toilet.
One.
It's in the middle of the floor.
For all the coaches and the football players, everything.
There's absolutely no privacy if you have to sit.
Oh, my God.
So, you have to, everybody outside, your turn.
So when you saw Ozark on the schedule, it's like, oh, man, that's going to be a rough one.
I didn't know it. That was the first time I'd been there. This was a bunch of years ago.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
wow. Now, what's it like an Enterprise and Dothan and those
Dothan
schools?
and Enterprise, they're fantastic. So
that's good.
Yeah. So we still had to walk a little bit.
Yeah.
You still have to walk a little bit from Dothan, Enterprise and Dothan, but.
So even teams that are coming in here from out of town absolutely love it.
Oh, yeah, because you're right there.
Was it planned that way?
Well, they rebuilt it, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, that was nice.
It was good.
Wow.
So it's even better than the home. As far as, if you're a home team, you can just park your bus outside the fence and go in.
Yeah.
And then you're away. They're not close together like they used to be.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
But anyway, it's not.
We have a treat coming up at 5:00. You don't even know what it is.
Uh-oh.
And it's a great surprise, and we'll jump into that. So
okay, good.
Kind of going back a year or so.
Okay, sounds good to me.
So it'll be a ton of fun. Don't forget, Todd Mueller will join us today. He's coming in at 5:20. Todd is with PCB Hobby, so that'll be a ton of fun to talk to him and catch up. We haven't talked in a while. I know he's been on a couple of trips to get merchandise, and he says they are just loaded big time out there. So we'll look forward to visiting with him here in the 5 o'clock hour in about 20-25 minutes from now. So, hey, don't forget to rely on ESPN Northwest Florida for your weather. Rely on Joanna and ESPN Northwest Florida. Up to the minute weather. It's all right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We're coming right back.
Weather report is partly, so that's right. You got it.
All right, well, sounds good.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The tradition continues.
That ball is going to be out of here.
America's team plays here.
Bombs away.
The Atlanta Braves are back and making a statement.
Ronald Acuna just clobbered one to left.
Listen to Atlanta Braves baseball in a rich audio experience live on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Here comes the thunder.
Sponsored by Bill Bird Kia, Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, Mid-South Lumber, Stormore Portable Buildings, and Brock Pest Control.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Monday's weather. The rest of the day there will be a gentle breeze out of the south, some sun at 81. Mostly clear skies tonight, about the same at 71. Tomorrow, mostly sunny most of the day aside from a likelihood of thunderstorms in the afternoon and a high of 82. About the same at 81 Wednesday, and we'll have mostly sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Game days are always better at Dave & Buster's. That's because more TV inches, more food and drinks, more space, and more fun make the game we all know and love more special. Nothing beats seeing your favorite team take the field on the two 12-foot big screens or 26 75-inch TVs. Throw in the arcade experience and you've got a winning atmosphere that no other sports bar can deliver. Follow the fun at Dave & Buster's Panama City Beach on Facebook and Instagram. Eat, drink, play, and watch sports at Dave & Buster's.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WVLQ Port St. Joe.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
He likes to idle his Kia while eating almonds and listening to Lincoln Park in the Walgreens parking lot.
White people love trail mix.
David Hayes is part of the Afternoon Underdogs.
Oh, they love it. Love it. Eat it every day.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
They love it.
Hey, welcome back. This is ESPN Northwest Florida, the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm Randy. Filling in for David today, along with Coach Manley. Coming up here in just a bit, we'll talk to Todd Mueller. He is in the house with PCB Hobby, so look forward to that. Don't forget, we're on 104.3 in Panama City, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. We stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and you can also download the app and listen to us anywhere in the world, and also at ESPNPC.com. Gavin is on the phone, and Gavin wants to talk about what, Gavin?
Just wrestling in general.
Right on.
So once before, David and Caveman Rick actually.
Right on.
Asked me on, and I wanted to talk to Coach Manley, but I haven't had a chance, so guess now's my chance. So, Coach, you know a couple people at Bay High, right?
A few, yes.
You know the Bay High wrestling coach.
I do. Father and son team.
Yeah. Do you know J.J. Gibbons?
I've heard the name, yes.
He actually was able to get in contact info with the Bay High coach, and I'm going to be wrestling for them and be the 130 wrestler, hopefully, if I don't get too fat.
Well, just run around the school a couple of times, you'll be all right.
But you got to do that 5 times a day.
Yeah, exactly. That always works. And tell Coach Hale, I listen to his show every morning when I wake up, and honestly, it's a pretty good show. Besides the Afternoon Underdogs and Inside Drive, it's my favorite one.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I better go. I better stay on the afternoon show.
Besides the other three.
Well, let me ask you this, Gavin. So when you listen to Coach Hale's show, are you disappointed that you don't hear anything about Alabama on it?
No, not really. I'm more of a Tennessee fan. And I know some people are going to be like, well, listen here. And they're going to give a bunch of excuses why Bama's the best.
I got you.
But listen to this, Bama fans.
Right.
We beat y'all.
I'll tell you exactly how to stay underweight. There's a new exercise called pushbacks. You know what that is?
Ooh, I have never heard of that.
Yeah, push back away from the table. That's what it's called.
There you go. That's always.
It works.
It works, yeah.
It works. That sounds like a dad joke. I'm not going to lie, it does.
That's all right. Well, I'm old enough to be your granddad, so.
It technically counts.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you taking interest in the Bayhigh Wrestling program. They've done a great job. We have a couple of young men going to North Dakota for the junior wrestling tournament. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So.
Heck yeah! I've always wanted to do that, but haven't had the chance. So
well,
who knows? I may actually be able to.
It's the toughest 6 minutes you'll ever go through.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, Gavin, good luck to you. Hope everything goes well, and just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and not just away from the table, but you got to remember bigger, faster, stronger, and you're
the
good.
Bigger they are, the
harder they fall. That's exactly right.
Just don't let them fall on you. That's all I can say.
That's exactly right.
Exactly. Fall on them.
That's right. Yep. Well, good deal.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, Gavin.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good day.
You too. Take care. Well, that was interesting.
It is. Yeah. So, yeah.
So not only football, basketball, we had. Now here comes people out of the woodworks to get into wrestling.
They do. I tell you what, I call them Papa Deaton and Son Deaton. They do a really good job marking.
Oh, without question.
Do a great job.
And good people, too.
Good people. And I tell you what, we had a young man that I thought was going to win the state championship. The only match he lost 3 matches all year. He lost to the Alabama state champion, he lost to the Georgia state champion, and then he lost in his weight class in the state championship match. So, congratulations to him.
Yeah, no kidding.
But those guys, they run a pretty tight ship, and I tell you what, if you learn from them, you've done a good job. And I tell you what, that's the toughest 6 minutes. I don't care what anybody says. That's the toughest 6 minutes.
Did you ever wrestle?
No, sir. I wasn't man enough to do that. So I tell you what. When I was in high school, we had wrestling, of course, and so when we practiced basketball, they were running, and we had a 4-story school, so they would run down the hall, run up the steps, run across, run down. So we practiced about an hour and a half. So once we came off the floor, they started pulling the mats out to go to practice. And I was like,
"Did you watch them practice?"
I watched them. And I said, "Nah, I'm good."
All right, well, let's go to the phone now. We've got a special guest, somebody we hadn't talked to in a long time, and a lot of folks are going to remember this guy. He came in here, was here, and made a big dent in our facility, and we all I don't know. He just kind of reminds us all of our grandfather. Was that when he was trying to park
his car? He made a big dent in his.
That is him.
Big dent on the sofa.
So, had your print there.
Yeah, he did make a big dent in the sofa.
He did.
How about you, old school?
What is going on down there in Panama City? My goodness, we got Coach Manley there. What is this? Old Timers Day? I know in baseball we used to have Old Timers Day. Are we doing Old Timers Day or what?
Yeah, we are Old Timers Day, especially old and decrepit Timers Day is what it is. So,
I missed that couch, Mandy. I had some serious naps on that couch that we had in there. Those were the good old days.
Oh, without question, man. Those were. I mean, if you'd have had a pillow and a blanket, all those times. I mean, I don't even. You could have just stayed here with no need to even go home.
He did a pretty good job without all that.
Yeah, he did do a good job without that. So you're in Atlanta now. So I'm assuming you're keeping up with the Braves.
Well, I'm working in the northern suburb of Marietta, Georgia, is where I'm working.
Gotcha.
I'm back in the golf business. I'm a golf professional at City Club of Marietta.
All right. But Marietta is really
in the foot.
No, Marietta is not a suburb really anymore. It all just kind of blends now right into into Atlanta.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it all kind of blends in. But I live up in the kind of the foothills of the mountain in a small town called, well, it's not small anymore, but it's called Canton, Georgia, and I drive into the city to go to work every day.
Well, that's awesome. You enjoying it? Just summer's coming, so I'm sure those fun Georgia summers are something to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, one of the interesting parts is I was out of the golf business for a number of years, and then I had a chance to go back in and decided to do it. And one of the things that really hits me is, and I think all golf professionals kind of feel this way, is one of the benefits is you don't get to play golf that much, but you get to go to the golf course every day. I mean, there's worse places that you can go to have to go to work, but I get to go to the golf course every day.
Yeah.
Well, so it's something that I really enjoy. Golf was a big part of my life. I started playing when I was, 9 or 10 years old with my pops, and we played all the way up until he passed away. And, it's just been a big part of my life, and I'm enjoying it again. I get to be here at a nice golf course. It's beautiful. It's well taken care of. The people that I wait on and take care of are nice, and they really enjoy the golf course. And we get lots of compliments about the quality that the course is. It's not, it's not typically challenged. It's hard as some golf courses are, and so I think people really enjoy it because they can go out there and shoot a score. Bay Point is such a good golf course, and this golf course is the same way. It's just in really good shape and a lot of fun for people to play.
Now, I know when you were here, you were extremely busy and didn't really get a whole lot of opportunities to play golf. Have you got? I mean, is there days where? And I know you spend all day somewhere. The last thing you want to do is stay longer, but have you got an opportunity to hit the ball a little bit more since you've been there?
What are you shooting?
Yeah, I'm able to. One of the benefits, I guess you say it is, one of the things that I enjoy the most is at the end of the day, 6:30, 7 o'clock, especially here now, this time of the year, you still have maybe 45 minutes to an hour worth of sun. I like to throw my clubs on a cart and go out and play 4 or 5 holes, just run out and play a few holes. And that's always real pleasing to me. It's a great wind down at the end of the day. I really enjoy that. I've gotten to travel around and play a couple of different, one of the benefits of being a golf professional is you can go play some other courses. So I've had a chance to do that a little bit. So, the game is rounding back. There for a while when I picked it up, I wasn't sure which end of the club to hold on to anymore because it'd been so long since I'd played. But I'm starting to figure out how to put the ball in the hole again. That's what it's all about.
That's good. Now, since you've been gone, Coach Manley's retired. He is now a member at Bay Point. So, and then he played for, what were you there, about 6 months worth of golf, and then all of a sudden he comes out of retirement and takes over at Bay High School as the interim athletics director. So your golf game has
This suffered a little bit, but like when old school said he went to work, when I go to the golf course, it's kind of like work. So, but no, I actually, Coach Moon.
It's funny, I know Manley, I used to give Coach Manley a hard time about he played golf all the time. Every time I looked up, he was at the golf course.
Right.
I was like, man,
I was retired for 9 years, and Coach Moon and I played every day, Monday through Thursday, 7 o'clock. We were first ones out and first ones in. So then I went once every 2 months. So I was like, oh man.
Yeah, that's one of the, like I said, if you're going to work I might as well go to the golf course. And even though you don't necessarily get to play,
right,
but you're still around the game. You're talking about it. People come in, they want to tell you about their round for the day, or did you see McIlroy's 372-yard drive on the weekend? You're talking golf. So it's one of the things that I enjoy most about it is you're just around the game, you talk about it. I do a lot of stuff with the juniors, so I have a chance to teach some of the young guys that are getting started in the game, and I really enjoy that. Like tomorrow, we start our summer junior camps, so I'll be out there in the heat working with the 8, 9, and 10-year-olds getting started in the game, and it's just so much joy. It gives me a lot of pleasure to see these young guys and gals whenever they finally hit one in the center of the club face and it flies, the look on their face. It's just one of the coolest games because of the fact that it's not easy.
Yeah,
and it's a game that you don't have to. Not the best athlete always wins. It's always who is willing to pay the price and go out there and dig it out of the dirt, so to speak. So you can be a person that's not huge in stature and still be successful. You don't have to be. If you're a basketball player, you need to be tall, or if you're a football player, you need to be big. And in this case, it's just about do you have the hand-eye coordination, and can you control the club face through impact and make the ball fly where you want it to go? And the faster the club head is moving, the further the ball goes. Whether you're 5'9" or you're 6'5", doesn't matter.
I didn't make either one of those heights. So
no, you didn't.
No, I didn't. Do y'all have a first tee organization there?
Yeah, that we do. We have a first tee. It's very effective. I mean, it's an amazing program, and it takes kids that would not have an opportunity in most cases to be exposed to the game of golf, and they are. And we have a lot of young people that are now staying in the program long enough to where they're able to advance in the game and maybe get a scholarship to go play. So it's a very, very good program for people to get involved in and to support.
Well, I got into golf. You'll remember this. A long time ago, you had those big old wrenches. You had to run around and turn on the sprinklers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So we would go down there, and we'd just get a club, and we would play down the course with just one club and turn them on, and then you come back about 4 in the morning and turn them off.
Turn them off.
So, we don't have all that electrical stuff now, but it was pure labor. 4 o'clock in the morning, you try to dodge in the sprinklers. Sometimes you didn't make it, but you had to turn the water off.
That's right.
Oh yeah, we used to make a joke about being a dew buster. You were the first guy out there in the morning, and you're sweeping the dew off the greens so that there's so much interesting things, and you see the wildlife on the golf course. That's one of the things about it, Bay Point. You go out there and you're there early in the morning. You see the wildlife. You see, it's a beautiful setting, and it's it's a different kind of setting up here in the mountains, but the sunsets are magnificent, and it's an inviting but yet challenging game. It challenges you to your core, but it also, when you hit one in the screws and you're just like, oh man, that felt so good. I want to do that again. And sometimes you get to, and sometimes you don't.
You better explain to some of these people, they don't know what the screws are. Remember, that's how you screwed the plate on.
in the old persimmon head drivers back, they were about the size, smaller than my fist, but they were small club heads, and they had a little plate on the front, and the 4 screws would hold that plate on the front of the persimmon wood, and so if you hit it in the screws, you'd hit it right on, and you'd get a few extra yards.
That's right.
So you're always looking to try to hit it in the screws. Nowadays, the technology is so different that you hit the club in a different spot. They want to hit it up at the top of the ball to create more overspin and create, the ball get up in the air more. But it's still, you can't help but still say, I hit that in the screws.
That's
no
right.
What.
That's right. I have one of those persimmon drivers too. Still got it.
Oh, I love those things. And still, to this day, when you see one, like the other day I was walking down the range and at our golf course here in Marietta, and there was a gentleman out there that had 3 beautiful old persimmon-headed woods, and everybody was looking at that, and everybody was looking at it going, how in the world do you hit this thing? And it's hard, I saw a thing the other day where they took a guy, he was a professional golfer, and they gave him an old persimmon-headed golf ball, or an old persimmon-headed driver, and they gave him a balata ball and said, see how far you can hit this, big boy.
Yeah.
He crushed it, and he hit it about 260.
And then it's got a dent in it when you get.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And then the ball's out around, and nowadays the guys can hit. They can almost hit an iron into the 230s, 240s. Some of the guys can. So the game's different today. The technology is different. The golf ball's totally different. There's kind of a debate going on. Nicklaus and the USGA has talked about trying to dial back the ball a little bit because some of the golf courses, some of the classic old golf courses like Inverness and different places are not in vogue anymore because they're too short. And the golfers today would overpower them. So there's a challenge that the USGA and the R&A are going to have to deal with, which is how do we keep guys from being athletes because we want them to be athletes, but yet not overpower the golf courses. And we can't build 800 and 8,500 yard golf courses. The land is too expensive to do that. So that's going to be an interesting. Yeah, it is. It's very much the restrictor plate in NASCAR. There's going to be a very interesting battle over the next decade or so as to what they do with the golf ball. And one of the things that people say is, well, let the pros play one ball and let the amateurs play a different ball. But that's one of the beautiful parts about the game of golf is that we can play the same golf ball as what the pros do.
Right.
We can hit the same clubs. They're not exactly the same, but they're very similar. And we can, and then when we hit it, and we think we hit it really good, and our yardage is 255 off of the tee, and you see a guy like Rory or Tiger or some of these other guys that hit it so thick they're hobbling after this weekend, and then they're carrying the ball 300 yards in the air. It's like, oh my! That's when you realize just how good those guys really are.
Right.
And how they are special athletes, just like the guys on the NBA floor, they're special athletes. The guys on the NFL football field are special athletes. These guys that play golf for a living are special athletes as well.
Well, everything's fitted just for them. They go through that. But,
oh, yeah.
If you go to the Cayman Islands, there's the ball, the dimples are not there. It has little bumps on it, so it doesn't carry as far. So make them hit one of those.
Wow. And it's interesting how, back when I was in school and young, the British had the European had a different size golf balls that they played.
Yep, the Penfold and the Schlesinger.
Yeah. So now they're, everybody is more unified, but it's going to be interesting to see how, because technology is going to continue to advance, and for the interesting part is the scores for the amateur golfer haven't really come down that much, the average score, because the game is not about how far you hit it. It's about hitting it where you want to hit it.
That's true.
And if you can hit it far and still hit it where you want to hit it, then you're at an advantage. And that's where the professionals really showcase their skill, is they hit it long and they hit it where they're looking.
Gotcha. Hey, old school, we got to go to a break, buddy. Always a pleasure catching up to you, and hopefully we can get together soon. I'll be up in Atlanta this weekend for the Braves affiliate outing, so I'll definitely reach out to you and we'll
reach out to me when you're here.
Okay.
And hey, Randy, I want you to do one thing for me, bud.
Okay.
One thing.
Go ahead.
I need you to reserve me a chair there someday when we get me and the coach's daughter and David back together, and maybe we can coach OG Man into coming back too.
Yeah, OG Man.
Well, I'll tell you what. There's a couple extra chairs right now, and I'll put some notes on them, and we'll be set to go. Love to have you guys back.
That would be fun, man. Hey, Coach Manley, it's great to hear from you, brother. I'm glad you're doing good.
You too, man. I'm going to have to come up there and play.
We'll do it. Come on.
Okay.
All right, brother. We'll talk soon. Take care, man. All right, Todd Mueller's in the house from PCB Hobby. He'll be coming up next. We'll talk about just a bunch of stuff. We're coming right back. ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, your home for Mike Greenberg.
The story of this series is that the Celtics have the better players, but the Heat are the better team. Period. End of sentence. Someone has to answer for it. It's that simple. You want to say it's the Stars? Put it on them. You want to say it's the coach? Put it on him. But when you have the better players and don't have the better team, then you failed. It's that simple.
Greeny. Weekdays on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For tonight, partly cloudy and a low of 71 with a 2 to 5 miles per hour wind out of the north-northwest. Mostly sunshine tomorrow morning and quite warm near 81. A chance of thunderstorms and some clouds and 81 in the afternoon and evening. This is your Monday's weather sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Bestway Portable Buildings has been your portable building specialist since 1989. Before you invest your hard-earned money someplace else, owner Jason Mulder invites you to stop by Bestway and get a quote on just about any size building. And whether you buy with Bestway or not, it's worth the trip just to meet Bestway Buddy. Say hello, buddy. Good boy. Bestway Portable Buildings, just north of Harts Marine on 231 and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. The best in portable, period. Tell them Buddy sent ya.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
On the run, caught. Time to let the big dogs eat.
How about that answer by Georgia? To the end zone, touchdown, Georgia.
Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back to the Afternoon Underdog program. Randy in for David today. He is not feeling the greatest, but he'll be back tomorrow. Look forward to seeing him then. Coach Glenn Manley also joining us here today. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate that. And Todd Mueller with PCB Hobby is here. And Todd, I hadn't seen you in a couple of weeks.
It's been a little bit. How's everybody going?
Everybody's doing well. We're all just kind of plugging along here, and
good.
And it's good. So yeah,
good to hear. Well, it's been pretty busy last couple of weeks. Obviously, last weekend was Memorial Day. Last Monday
was it crazy?
It was crazy. We were open Memorial Day, and there was a ton of people that came in.
That's awesome.
A lot of visitors in the area, and so that was really nice to see. And like I said, we were open. However, we did not do our Monday afternoon show on Memorial Day, so I was not here.
Right.
But so it's been 2 weeks, so I got a lot of information and a lot of things going on. We have been really busy, like I said, in the shop. We have a lot of stuff going on. It's June now, and so, of course, in June, we have our trade day that is coming up on the second Saturday of the month. So,
what is trade day?
And trade day basically is where people who collect sports cards, who collect TCGs, which is trading card games, Pokemon, Magic,
right.
stuff like that,
yep.
Come in and they can trade with other fellow collectors. They can trade with us, buy, sell, do all of that together. And we give usually 10% on boxed product, 10% off. And then on top of it, we have a spin wheel that we do. And so if you spend over $75 or more, you get on the spin wheel and you can spin it and potentially win more products and more things.
Awesome.
So it's a really fun day.
Is it just one day?
It's just one day. It's second Saturday of the month.
Okay, gotcha.
Second Saturday of the month. So I guess this will be this coming Saturday. Because
that'd be right.
So this coming Saturday, we should have it. Now, the third Saturday of the month is our Pokemon Kids Play. And so that's where all the kids come out on Saturday morning, and that's the third Saturday of the month. So we're having that going on as well. We've also instituted Friday Night Magic Friday Night Magic. And so that's Magic the Gathering. It's a card game.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Right. And so Friday Night Magic is every Friday night. We're
What
also
time?
doing stuff. I believe they start at 6:30.
Okay.
I believe they start at 6:30. Roughly.
Yeah.
Obviously, sometimes we wait for a couple guys to get there, and
Right,
it doesn't
right.
start till 7. But typically we try to go at 6:30 on that. We also have several other different little tournaments and things that we do. Wednesday night we have a Pokemon tournament. Again, that's another type of 6:30 type thing.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday night where we have Pokemon players come and play and do Pokemon. So as you can tell and see and hear that our shop is packed a lot, with a lot of things going on and a lot of different events and stuff like that. Most notably, we are going to the Baltimore Coin Show this week. I leave tomorrow, and we will be there all weekend. And buying coins, selling coins. We have a table up there. So we're going to Baltimore, Maryland for that. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm assuming you're driving or flying?
We are driving.
Okay.
We are driving.
Well, you have to when you go to
We
those,
have
right?
to, yeah. We
Because
got
you're bringing product back.
Inventory. That's what it's about. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to get on today is I wanted to talk about people bringing inventory in. We are needing as much inventory as we can get. And specifically, we're needing a lot of Pokemon singles.
Okay.
And a lot of sports card singles. So if you have any collections, you've been wanting to come over, you've been wanting to sell some stuff, you got to come in. We need your stuff. We are looking to buy. Buy. We're also going to have a small presence up at the Huntsville card show. The Huntsville card show is going to be this weekend. So,
Are you going up for that or
I
not?
am not going to Huntsville. We have other people from the shop going to the Huntsville.
Oh, right on. Okay.
Yeah, so we'll be up there doing that. So that's going to be pretty exciting.
So it's not about just kind of sitting over there at the store waiting on people to come in?
It's not. We have plenty. We have plenty of people who we all work hard, and we're all there to support the store. But we're also there to go out and to get inventory and to meet new people and to make those relationships and do what we need to do. So
And when you say relationships, outside
of this local area, and we've done that, and it's been great. We have several meetings set up for the coin show. We've got several meetings set up for the card show. We got a lot going on, so it's really good. The other thing that we got going on is every Wednesday is New Comic Wednesday. So I need everybody to understand that we do comic books, that we're trying to push our comic books, and all the new issues come out every Wednesday.
Oh, right on.
So you need to come in and see the shop. We have been outfitting it and filling it up with all kinds of comics. We got everything new, old, in between. And Val has been there and doing a good job and getting everything sourced. And we have supplies. We have everything you need to be a comic book collector in this area. So we're really trying to do a push now for the comic book section of our stuff. So come see Val. Bring your stuff in. We buy collections. Again, we sell new stuff, old stuff, all the above.
Well, I know I've said this before, but there's one thing, maybe, no one's heard it before, but the one thing that I can tell you when you come into your store, you are welcomed.
Absolutely.
You don't just wander around the store without anybody greeting you. So,
Absolutely.
And that's very refreshing.
Yeah, we always we try to do what we call run a tight ship.
Yeah.
And the catalyst behind most of that is my business partner Bill.
Yeah.
And his right hand person Emma.
Yeah.
And so those two are very much the clutch people who make sure that retail is taken care of and that people understand that we're here to do business and we're here to with open arms, basically.
Yeah. Todd Mueller is joining us this afternoon. He's with PCB Hobby. And as a person, what is your favorite thing about are you a coin guy or are you a card guy?
So to get down in the weeds a little bit with myself, I am a coin guy at heart.
Yeah, I love coins.
So I'm a coin guy at heart. If you haven't heard the show before and you haven't listened to me talk, I'm a coin nerd for sure.
Yeah.
I know a lot about coins.
That's awesome.
I know a lot about U.S. coins. I know some about foreign coins. I collect many of those different types, and I do have coins that actually excite me. I do get emotionally excited over some of the coins that I've collected over the years and have able to look at and own and stuff like that. And sometimes shed a small tear when I have to sell some of them. Don't want to, but I do sometimes. So my main thing is the coin area. And of course, we do several different things in coins. If most people don't know, we have a retail presence. You can come in, you can look for certain coins, buy certain coins. We do currency, we do foreign coins, we do silver and gold, and bullion and stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is that we also do online selling. And one of our biggest platforms that we use is called Whatnot. Yeah. So if you have not heard about Whatnot still, and you've listened to the radio station all this time and have heard me on here, and you still haven't gone on Whatnot, you need to go on Whatnot and visit PCB Coins on Whatnot.
Well, wait a minute now. So for old folks like me and Coach Manley, explain what Whatnot is.
Whatnot is an app. Whatnot is an app. Okay. Right. So you would go on your phone, iPhone, Android, doesn't matter. Okay. You'd go on your phone, you'd go to your store, and you would download the app Whatnot. Okay. You log in, sign in, and then you can view live auctions. Okay. There are actually people live on the app selling their items. And you can go to many different categories. One of them being coins. Okay. Right? They do sports cards. Okay. You can do jewelry. They have stuff, they have clothing, handbags.
And there's always
somebody auctioning. Okay. Always somebody auctioning. And what you got to do is you got to find your favorite people, the people that you enjoy listening to and like to watch.
Do you have times that you guys do
absolutely
the Whatnot?
So most of our times are Monday through Friday. We're at 9 a.m. we have a show, and we have one at 6:30 in the evening. Okay. And typically run for about 3 hours.
So wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a long time selling.
But people who are into it, they don't care.
And some people just come on and watch.
So let me ask you this, though. So let's say you have a show, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Is every day different as far as okay
yeah, every day's different. Now we sell a lot of different things as far as coins go, so you got to imagine that we might sell 5 or 6 mercury dimes, and we might sell 3 or 4 barber quarters or something like that. We may do that each day, but they're different dates. They're not the exact same coin every single day. You see what I'm saying? Right. We have different silver that we sell. Sometimes we just go off script and we're like, hey, someone's looking for this. Sure, we got one in the safe right here. And we just take it out, show it to them, assign a number to it on our screen, and auction it.
And they can bid on it right then.
They can bid on it right then and there.
How neat is that?
It is changing the world, you guys.
So do you have do you say, okay, on Tuesdays at 9 we're going to do coins, Wednesday at 9 we're going to do cards?
We stick mostly. We do it different IDs. So we have at PCB Coins, which is our coin stream. Okay. We have at PCB Sports Cards, which is our sports card stream.
Oh, okay,
and so we do those at different times during the week as well. Okay. And we sell packs of cards. We sell single cards. We do mystery packs on that channel. We do lots of just different things.
That's cool.
And again, it's all bidding. You bid right then, and you can do buy it nows. They have buy it nows on there as well. Right. But it's a very interesting platform, and we're trying to get as many people as possible on the platform so we can have as many buyers as possible as well.
So the platform is about auctions and buying things.
And buying things. That's what it's about. Okay. But the chat is really phenomenal sometimes.
Oh,
and it's very interesting because you get to read the chat as I'm talking. So I'm in front of my phone, the camera's on me, right? And I'm showing an item, and I get to see somebody say, wait, isn't that such and such? Or, hey, how do you do this? Or, what about this? And you can actually get to talk about coins, and you actually get to talk about what they're asking about and things like that. And sometimes funny things happen, and they talk about funny things on there, and you get just talking on the chat, and it's a lot of fun. But the cool thing is that you get followers, just like any other social media platform.
That's awesome.
We just broke 15,000 followers.
Wow. That is unreal.
We have 15,000 people who follow our coins.
Now, is it kind of like how Facebook and some other things are, YouTube, where it sends notification to those people?
Absolutely, 100%. Every time I go live, notifications go out to everybody.
Is that it right there on my phone?
That's Whatnot right there.
Okay, good. Well, I'm going to download it.
You should download it. You're going to get lost in it. You're going to get lost in it. It's crazy. But anyway, so I want everybody to know that we also do online platforms too. We have social media as well. We're on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
Okay.
And we are at PCB Coins, but our main account about our business and about what's going on in our business is at PCB Hobby. So everybody needs to go follow PCB Hobby. Look, it takes only a second to click a like every so often for us. And that's all we're asking is every so often, check us out, take a look. You know, we got a lot of fun stuff that we post up there.
That's awesome.
And we're just trying to keep it going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Keep the industry going with it. So,
well, it's a fun industry, too.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. We're having a great time. And now, look, we are stocked right now. We have brought in every product known to man out there. In fact, today released the brand new Pokemon product called Paldea. Brand new. Everybody wants it. Hot, hot, hot. You got to come in and get yours. We only have a limited supply.
But you have it in stock right now.
But we have it in stock right now.
Okay.
And so everybody who does Pokemon, get down to the shop quick because it is going to be gone before you know it. Number one. Number two, one of the best things we've done so far is we opened up our PCBHobby.com website.
Oh, right on.
Yes.
Okay.
So we actually have a buying website now that we sell on that you can go and pre-order products. You can go buy coins. You can buy supplies. You can literally go to our site. So everybody needs to get on their cell phone, go to PCBHobby.com and check us out. It's a fresh site. It's beautiful. It works really well. And we just can't wait to hear the feedback and see the people come to the site. And look, we've had a lot of success with it already. We've had a lot of people, even from outside our area, visit the site.
That's
good. So, yeah. So we're super excited about it. So that is going to be one of our biggest pushes this year is PCBHobby.com.
And tell me what you can do on PCBHobby.com.
So PCBHobby.com, again, has all the different categories. We have comics, we have coins, we have sports cards, and we have TCGs, which is trading card games.
Right.
Specifically, even the next release of Pokemon that doesn't come out till August is on the site. Ready for you to pre-buy it. You can pre-buy the product on our site right now. All you have to do is go there, look it up. We have all the specs about the new product coming out. Plus, you can actually purchase product right now for the Paldea that just came out today.
You can purchase it online.
Purchase it online at PCBHobby.com. You can look up coins. We have some coins we've listed already. We're going to be listing a lot more coin inventory. You can literally go on there if you're looking for a set or if you're looking for supplies like coin holders, things like that. You can buy all that stuff. You do not have to be local to pick it up, but you can pick it up local.
Right.
And we'll ship it to you. It's no problem. And it's all seamless. Same thing. We're going to be starting to list comic books on there. We're going to get some sports card stuff on there. Of course, our supplies for sports cards and comics will be on there. Again, you do not have to be local to do this. So if you're listening in Dothan and you don't want to have to drive down here, you can order and we'll ship it to you.
That's huge.
It's super huge.
That's going to be a good part of your business.
Everybody needs to check that out. And again, I tell you, we are stocked up. Our comics are stocked up. Our PCB sports cards is stocked up. We've got tons of new products on the wall, tons of new products. In fact, I believe Series 2 Topps just came out today, and that's a baseball product. And everyone loves Topps, the base Topps products, so they can come in and get that too. We just got that in today. We just have so much going on. I could go on for hours about
That's
it.
awesome.
I could go on for hours.
Well, good.
It's ridiculous.
Well, I'm glad
if I
good
bring
things
in
are
some
happening.
Smurfs, y'all take Smurfs?
I love Smurfs. Smurfs are the greatest thing ever.
What?
I seriously watch Smurfs.
When I had a beard, you used to call me Papa Smurf.
Papa, yeah. They always just call me Captain because I got a beard and I wear a captain's hat.
Well, I got a box of them. I'll bring them out there and let you see.
I'd love to take a look at them. That'd be fun.
That's awesome.
You never know what people have and what
That's
they'll
right.
bring in.
I even got a Roy Rogers billfold.
A Roy Rogers billfold?
Yes, it's
look
a
at
plastic thing I got
Wow.
back.
He's got some collectibles. Look at this.
How about that?
Look at him go.
So it's not just about coins and cards. It's all kinds of collectibles.
We take a look at anything.
Okay,
We'll
good.
take a look at anything. If we can make decent money on something, we'll buy it.
Yeah.
It just depends on what it is. But we are looking for collections. So so before we go, everybody needs to know we are looking for collections. We're looking for trading cards, and we're looking for sports cards, and of course coins and comics. Bring your stuff in and let us buy it. If
So
ready
you'll
to
buy it right then, give them the money,
give them
and
the estimate, and right then and there, and it's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Todd, it's always a pleasure having you on.
Absolutely. Remember, we are on Back Beach, guys. Back Beach next to Florida Linens.
Yeah, you're in a good spot. A lot of traffic over there. Everybody's seeing you coming by.
Yeah, and I got some good news coming up soon for everybody. It's a little early to let everybody know, but I got some good news coming up. So you guys need to stay tuned on Mondays because you never know what I'm going to tell everybody.
I've already guessed it. I'll guess it off air.
Okay, good. I appreciate that.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Todd. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick time out. We're coming right back. Don't forget Coach James Hill Show tomorrow morning. It starts at 7 a.m.
If you want to hear Alabama football,
tune in. Yeah, that's true. ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the inside track.
Okay, clam chowder. It's the clams.
It's the clams. I mean, it's not the chives or the potato or the milk or whatever you may use.
Milk. That's the thing. We don't have a lot of, there's not a lot of New England clam chowder around these parts, that's for sure.
No.
And we do have some she crab soup.
Join Ryan Mulvey.
Thank you very little.
Middays 11 to 1 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For tonight, partly cloudy and a low of 71 with a 2 to 5 miles per hour wind out of the north-northwest. Mostly sunshine tomorrow morning and quite warm near 81. A chance of thunderstorms and some clouds and 81 in the afternoon and evening. This is your Monday's weather sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
It moves fast. The High School Spotlight. Weekdays at 5:40.
Let's do it.
Sponsored by Barbaritos. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. It is ESPN Northwest Florida Afternoon Underdogs Show. Live and in living color on your electric radio this afternoon. I'm Randy in for David Hayes. Coach Glenn Manley is here with me
for
as
everybody.
well.
I'm in for everybody.
You're just here for everybody. I appreciate that.
The only thing is, I think Ryan Mulvey's dodging me. I've been trying to get on this show.
Well, I'll tell you something. The thing about with Ryan, as soon as he comes in the door, he actually will lock that door.
I know. That's
Doesn't
what I
let
heard.
anybody in the door.
That's what I heard. Just he and Jay.
You noticed today you had to ring the buzzer to get in.
I
here.
did.
Yeah, so that's part of it. When Ryan came along, he said, "I need security."
Okay. Well, I can be the security guard.
Well, that's true. You could.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
But I'll give you a code. You can get in.
But here's the thing. I just wanted to talk golf. I didn't care about talking.
It's a perfect show for him.
I know it. So
I'll say something to him about that. Why are you not? Why have you not invited?
I don't
Coach
think he
Manley?
likes short people. I think that's
Well, he doesn't have any room to talk himself.
Well, yeah, but
Well, it's time for the local update. That's brought to you, of course, by Barbaritos over on 23rd Street, which is, Glenn, one of our favorite places.
Oh, yeah.
So you got some good news for us locally here this afternoon?
I can tell you everything in the world is going on, but there's soccer camps going on. There's football camps. Basketball is going on, AAU basketball.
Right on.
I mean, and then there's summer baseball going on. Not just schools have summer baseball going. I'm just going to tell you, get out there and support your local school.
That's right.
For all they're doing, because it bless their hearts. So the county doesn't like to cut off a lot of money. So help them in any way they can, because you know where your kids are, and you know what they're doing, and so they're busy, and so most of the time they're too worn out to do anything else when they get home.
That's exactly right.
And then they're all, there's great role models out there, and they'll teach the kids what they're supposed to do in sportsmanship and
there's a lot involved in good things as far as athletics, discipline, accountability. You learn to play in a team. There's so many advantages to being involved in sports for kids.
And what it teaches you also is, no matter how hard you work, how hard you do things, sometimes you don't get on the winning end of it.
But that's okay.
That's in life.
Yeah, of course.
And the thing is, if you don't do something and fail, and it teaches you how to recover and how to come back, and that's going to happen all through your life. I always wanted to be 6'2", but I didn't work out that way. It didn't work out, but you know what? I made the best of it. I did the best I could.
You don't have to cry about it.
I'm crying. I tell you, just allergies, man. My eyes
that's what it was.
My eyes just start leaking like, all of a sudden, I know it looked like somebody's poured a shower on me, but no, you know what? There's just so many things going on. If you're an 8th grader going into the 9th grade and you want to play football, then you need to go to the coach and see what they're doing, because they've already started. They started Monday, and they're doing things, and so you need to get involved in that. There's clubs at the schools. There's all kind of things you can get going. The band is going. All the bands are practicing. So just get out there.
Is it a cool time of the year when all of them start doing? School hadn't started, but you still
everybody.
got activities going on.
It's like we talked about what's just happening in our gym. So so imagine all the other schools. They're doing the same thing. And then there's travel ball, and there's all kind of things. So the thing I used to be in the AD when the soccer travel ball. All right, so if you get a red card in soccer at travel ball, the next day you can play.
Yeah.
Not in the FHSAA. And I had to explain that to my parents. And it's not because they don't understand the rule. It's a whole different thing when you come from travel ball or summer ball or club ball to FHSA. They kind of frown on red cards. They frown so much that you sit out a few games, and then they like to send you a little bill so you can pay them. It starts at $250.
Now, who's responsible for that?
Well, in the bylaws, when we give out stuff to the parents, it goes to the parents. So we can't.
So the school's responsible, or the parents are responsible? The parent
is responsible, but the school gets penalized because Bay High is up for the sportsmanship award in 4A this year.
That's awesome.
And so we had no ejections, we had no coaches, no players, no anybody.
How about that?
And so what you have to do is, you have to show all that. Then we had we wrote up our school, the principal and I, but mostly her. She wrote up the school philosophy, and then the athletic philosophy, sportsmanship, and then we had some officials association write up things about what we did for them.
Yeah.
And so we submitted it, so we'll know more towards the end of the summer if we won the 4A Pete Rozelle Sportsmanship Award for FHSA.
So athletics inside these high schools is about more than just wins and losses and games and all of that.
It's how you treat the other teams, sportsmanship, respect, all that. How you teach how you treat the other coaches.
Yeah.
Even the cheerleaders, how they go to the other team, and how they, cheerleaders are great at that. They'll run over and start talking to each other, and all that, and then then they get together. They take pictures together.
Yeah.
And then so they do a great job, and and so one of the things I like about what we used to do is I feed all the officials. No matter, we fed them some pretty good stuff, so they like to come to our place.
Well, that's good.
And then when they walk in, they have security. They have a police officer with them. They also get fed. They get the check right there and everything, and they have a key. They can dress in a proper dressing room where they're by themselves, isolated. And so when they come on the court or they come on the field, they have a deputy with them. When they go off, they have a deputy. And so that's just the things you're supposed to do.
So you feed them?
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. We feed them pretty good.
Try to make do you try to make sure that your menu is a little better than the school down the road?
Yeah, nothing against. Let me just say this: nothing against all the pizza places,
right?
Because because if I go to Gourmet Deli now, I may serve them one of those. But I tell you what, we have ribs and we have fish and we have. I've even had gumbo and also we've had all kind of stuff. Yeah, and so especially football because they can come in and sit for an hour and then, so they always have some. And we've had rib crib, furnish the ribs and sandwiches, and
that's good.
So they always come in, and sometimes they just have the box to go. Yeah. They just keep the box, and then when they leave, this is my meal on the way home and stuff like that.
Oh, how about that? That's a good idea.
So, I was an official, so I always like to have something. Yeah. And so.
But you necessarily don't want to eat before you go call a game.
We have a little knick-knack stuff that they can nibble on, and then we have water and all kind of drinks, and there was one official association. One guy liked Snickers bars, so I always had 3 or 4 Snickers bars right there, so they were his. And
he could eat one there on the ride home. He had one
guy,
too.
Yeah, one guy always liked the different one kind of diet drink, so I always had 3 or 4 for him. And then you have water and everything. So you try to find out who they are and what they want. Yeah. But the main thing is they have a key. But I'm always there where I always escort them with the police officer so they'll know that how important they are and things like that. So we used to give them water bottles, towels with Bayhigh on them, and all kind. We get them all kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So and the stadium's done a great job too. Now they have a room down there where you can put stuff in the refrigerator for them. You don't have to have it in a special cooler. And everything.
That's nice.
So they've done a good job.
They did the stadium up right.
They did right. They really did.
Every high school in the country ought to have something like that.
Well, if you go to Texas.
Yeah, they do have it.
So, but let me tell you this though, I wish they'd put 2 jumbotrons there, one on each end, so because we can sell more ads.
Yeah, you sure could, couldn't you? Are they all full now?
Oh yeah, we have a athletic revenue sharing how we do football season because football is the cash cow. Yeah, and so we have people that do parking. Yeah, and the band gets the concession stand. That's school board policy, but we have people that do concessions. We have people that do, I guess you call season passes, season parking, but then we have other clubs and everything. Our ROTC takes care of most of the parking lots. Then we have the cheerleaders have their spirit station, right, and then they have part of one of the parking lots. Now, we give them most of the money, but they have to give a little cut to football because football pays all the bills as far as, the security.
It's no different than colleges,
Correct. But, but everybody needs part of that. Right. And so.
To be able to survive and pay what they get.
And then we actually now, I can't tell you the amount we'll give them, but we have the cheerleader parents cover the ticket gates.
Oh, nice.
And we give them a certain amount for each game. So if we have 6 games, they have that times 6. So that's pretty good.
That money goes to
straight to the cheerleaders.
That's good.
Because that way you don't have to worry about who's manning the gates and all that stuff. And they only have to do it for half, and then we come to count the money. But, they've always worked. Our cheerleading parents do a great job. They always work with any sport, actually. So, but this football, is just everybody comes to football. Yeah. And,
Now, you're there at Bay till June. What do you in this year that you've spent over there? Some great things have happened. What are you most proud of?
I'm most proud of what we've done with academics, but athletics, all the teams. I think when I first was athletic director, I wanted to make sure all the women's sports had comparable coaches to the men.
Good.
Because before, when I was actually playing, and then when I first got there, we had football coaches who were knowledgeable of the sport, but they weren't just like true sports. Now you're like swimming, volleyball, and things like that, or wrestling. We had some coaches that could wrestle, but but now weightlifting, we have a tremendous girls weightlifting team. We had a state champion last year.
I remember that.
And we thought we were going to have 2 state champions, but one of them hurt her shoulder in the regional. Yeah. So we could have had 2 state champions, but let me tell you what, the one we had, buddy, she didn't lose a match.
That's great.
She came to me and said, I forgot how many pounds she lost by her junior year. She said, Coach, if you're going to come to weightlifting, I'm going to win the state. I go, well, good. So then
you thought she was just kind of.
Coach Bailey said, Coach, she's going to win. So I go, and she didn't lose it. They do traditional and they do Olympic or whatever. Yeah. So she didn't.
Now, are there other? Is it kind of like any other sport where you have schools?
Yeah, they have matches. We have matches in the district, in the regional, and have a state.
Okay, gotcha.
And so
where do you have them at the school?
We have in the weight room.
Oh, in the weight room.
Yeah, and
that's where the matches are.
Yeah, as far as just the regular high school ones. So now the district's in the gym. It's a bigger place because you have more kids.
Right.
And then the regionals in a bigger spot, and then state's always in Lakeland.
Yeah.
And so, but that's amazing too. So we had live feed. I was watching her in the state. She just did that. She just snatched that bar up, put it there, boom. I was like, holy smokes. But when you see her walking around, I mean, she doesn't look like.
She's not muscular?
She's muscular, but it's not. It's. I don't know how you say it, but it's not like if you saw her walking down the hall in regular school clothes, you'd go, "Hey, she's a nice girl," you know. But she gets in there, she gets that bar, it's up, and she's ready. She didn't lose. I'm telling you,
that's crazy.
I know. She won about 30 or 40 pounds.
That's good.
Yeah, and then the girl that won the year before that, she hurt her shoulder, so we could have had 2 state champions.
Wow.
So, and then, North Bay haven't had a state champion and everything. So, I mean, there were some other schools. Trust me, of course, I'm getting old. So now that weightlifting's over with, I kind of, it goes out of my mind. But
yeah,
I really, the thing I like is changing the culture of what the new administration's doing.
Yeah.
And the kids are becoming more respectful, more accountable, and they see, you can get more flies with honey than you can with vinegar,
Well, and it helps everything all the way around. The kids have a new attitude. I mean, that rubs off. Maybe there's kids that aren't playing in any sports, but the attitude of the people playing sport rubs off on them.
One of the things that really needs to happen, and you can't always do it at every school, but you need more coaches that are actually on staff in the school.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't help it because, we're in a teacher shortage, so that means coaches too. It's nice to have guys or girls that are outside the school, but they're not there every day with the kids.
Right.
So that helps. That helps if they're there because now they'd rather for you to send them to the principal's office and go, I'm on call coach. Don't call coach. I'll do whatever you want me to. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And then usually there's been a study, however your football team does, it kind of starts the year off right.
Yeah.
Now, what everybody doesn't understand is while football's going on, you have volleyball.
Right.
You got boys and girls swimming. Mm-hmm. You got boys and girls cross country. Mm-hmm. And you got golf.
Mm-hmm.
So football's not the only sport. But the one that gets publicized the most
is football.
Right. But, all those are good.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. I really appreciate it. And your new basketball coach will be on Wednesday with
morning,
Coach Hale.
Yeah.
Okay, look forward to that. All right, thanks a lot. We appreciate you guys tuning in today. Paul Feinbaum coming up next here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida could bring sports fans like you an app this powerful. The sports content you crave is always on. Live stream us everywhere you go. Now with upgraded programming and live game schedules, you'll always know when the Atlanta Braves and your favorite games are playing. Plus, interact with our local hosts in real time and so much more. The new app for the sports fanatic is available at the Apple Store and Google Play. From 104.